Welcome to a new episode. It's pretty much in the morning. The sun just came up. I'm here with my coffee, and I was like, oh, let's do another episode. I want to talk about empaths. I want to talk a little bit about the pros and what it actually can do to you if you're not really in charge of feeling into other people. You know, oftentimes we are actually not aware at all what we are doing, why we are doing it. And I want to bring in some awareness. I want to help you to make it more easy, to bring in more ease, okay? To bring in more lightness, okay? My aim on this channel is always to bring in more calm, more peace, more love. And actually, to receive that, you need to calm down. You need to release the stress from your day. You need to be able to hear, to listen. So if you're not on the place where you actually can listen, then this might not be the time for you, okay? So listen with ease. Listen with, oh, interesting, being open to hear something that may actually help you to release a few things, release a few beliefs, not thinking, oh, another one that may not help me. Then you're not in the right position to listen. So be open whenever you're ready and go. So if you're meeting the first time, my name is Patricia, and feel free to subscribe to this channel. What we are doing here is to really get back to who you truly are. Why? Your true desires are so dear to me. And when you have all those things attached to you, all those conditions, all those beliefs, all your self-talk, you're not really doing what you really want. You're not really moving forward in your life how you truly want. You're making often choices because it looks good, because that's how you grew up. I want you to be free. I want you to choose a life that is good for you. And that always includes that it's also good for other people. It never excludes people. It's never about, hey, I look that I'm the one who deserves all the gold, right? No, not at all. This is about getting back to who you truly are, and this will enable other people to do the same, being authentic to themselves, So with that said, grab your coffee, do the same like me. I was just like, oh, let's pop on here. Why not, right? Why not? And start my morning. So let's talk about the empath, right? There is a hell lot out in our web, in the internet, about being empathic. I want to bring in maybe a new idea, a new perspective, to bring in more ease into this topic. And that is, being empathic doesn't mean, let's first talk about what it doesn't mean. For me, okay? For me, being empathic doesn't mean I'm walking around feeling super insecure, being really out of balance, and seeking in the outside who else is out of balance. Who else can I look at and get the reflection back that I'm insecure, that I'm unsafe, that I'm not feeling good oftentimes. And I'm saying this with so much compassion. This is not to call you out. This is about bringing in awareness, because you can't change it, okay? You can change it. Being empathic doesn't mean you're outside. For me, being empathic means very much I'm present to my own insecurities, to my own worth, to my own identification, to who am I, you know? Because when my system is in balance and I feel peaceful, I feel calm, what do you think you attract? The same, right? The same. We always attract the same thing. And if you don't believe me, then look outside in the world. Who do you meet all the time? What do you meet, right? What kind of characteristics do those people have? This is something that is reflecting back to you. If you don't want that, you can't change it, but you need to see it first. Because then you can change your emotion attached to it. You can change the way you behave, the way you react. You can say no. You can learn that. It's a skill. It's a skill. And it's okay that you don't know how that works. It's okay. It's total freedom in that, really. So being empathic, feeling safe inside, and sitting next to someone and understanding that the way how this person speaks might not be in alignment with how they feel. Very, very often this is the case. And people who are empathic, they try to intervene, right? They try to step into their field saying, yeah, but I feel something else. I feel what you're saying here is not true, right? I will come from the other side and say, why do you tap into a field that isn't yours, that someone else doesn't want you to interact with? You see, just because you can doesn't mean you have to, doesn't mean it's good for you. What does that mean? Well, I think when people say something, and I really, really trust in that, when people say something, they say something, listen, I'm not ready for this relationship. I love you, but I have this and this and this on my plate. Okay, now the empath comes and is like, but I can really sense that they really love me. Like I know this is true, blah, so what's the problem, right? And, going all this way around. I'm like, save yourself the time. That person doesn't want to change. You see, this is something that people need to learn is, yeah, maybe an energy is there that actually will give them another option in their life. Okay, then you have the mind, and the mind says, no, I want to stay in this pattern. And by the way, pattern is not bad. I'm just using it for a behavior kind of way they always repeat, right? And so they choose the same relationships over and over again. Now we are talking about someone who is secure, an empath who feels safe within, who is not looking outside and trying to find someone who they can save, right? Someone to fix. We are not talking about an empath who is doing that. We talk about someone who is safe within and can feel that there is a disconnection between what they actually want and how they feel. And this gap is actually confusing them because they're like, huh? I ask you to stop being confused. It might be tricky. I ask you to Allow them to explore their own inner world. I ask you to step back. I ask you to find peace in that answer and not to dig deeper, because it's not on you to make the choice. You see, it's not on you, it's on them. And the truth is, that will be in your absolute highest good. Why? You're saving yourself so much time. Because that person tells you up front that the connection is actually not what they want to give, not what they want to receive. It's not even about they're not ready. It's they just can't. They are not there for what you ask them to do, right? Let's talk about an empath who is struggling. And there are many people out there who are struggling to navigate, because it's a territory that is a little difficult, in a sense of, I feel something, they say something else, I have no clue what to do with that information. Don't make it so complicated. If you feel out of alignment with who you are, it's not in your best interest to go in a group, because you're not ready. You're not. You're not ready to go in a group because, and this actually is going back to your childhood. It's going back to the way you got raised. You know, when you got raised from a parent who was very insecure, who was unstable in what they offered you, you had a strategy as an empath to feel into them and to start to understand, what do they need? What can I do to make them feel good? Because them feeling good will make me feel good. You know what I mean? You're fixing someone and you are a child, and this was your only thing that you could do. Now you're not a child anymore. You don't need to do that anymore. You need to make sure that you have your boundaries ready and set for your own good, and therefore also for other people. You see, there are a couple of videos I've done about boundaries. Maybe you check out my last video. And when you know that you have a tendency to do that, you know, then you start to recognize, okay, when am I doing that? Why is this kicking in? Do I actually feel safe within myself? Do I trust myself? Or is this activated when I don't trust myself? You know, that I feel everybody. You know, I'm going out like, where can I find someone who really feels unsafe? You know, trying to control the room, trying to solve, you know, and then you're going outside and you're like a little detective, right? And you're like, oh, this person has a lot of issues. Let's see how we can solve this, right? I'm not making fun of you, but you gotta understand, what is your behavior, right? What is the strategy you're using? Is this the one? Oh, okay, maybe it's over. Maybe you can choose. Maybe you can choose and say, I'm done. I'm really done, you know, like this, nah. You know, laugh about yourself. Okay, I recognize. I've done that. I have done that, you know. I stood there in the room and I could feel everything. And I was really into it. And then I was like, who can I touch, right? With my energy. But you only touch those people because you're in the same vibe. Kind of sucks, huh? Make it with ease, my friend. Make it with ease. It's maybe painful, right? In the beginning, it gets way easier, I tell you. See, feeling into other person, in another human being, is only really in your highest best if you are protected too, if you feel safe, if you feel seen, if you feel heard, most often by yourself first. And if that is not the case, it's not on you to go outside, outside of your body to discover. It's not on you. You don't need to save the world. You don't need to fix anybody. You don't need to help anybody. You need to help yourself. Why? Because helping yourself, feeling good with yourself, learn to trust into your own being, will show other people that they can do the same. This is the peace people want, truly. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything to reconnect to yourself. It doesn't cost you a dime. But you gotta get back to you. You gotta go back to you. So when you start to see, hey, I'm in the field outside, I'm doing my thing. Pause. Acknowledge. And start to maybe write down, how do I feel? What does this person show me in a sense of how do I feel about them? What are they showing me? Now, this mirrors back to me. What do I need to see here? What can I do to see and understand my pain a bit more and allow it to be there, allow it to be seen by you, heard by you, acknowledged. And when you're working with this inner child, because oftentimes the wound is quite deep, so it will take some rounds, so don't blame yourself, take away the judgment. If you feel rage because you're like, I recognize now why I was doing that, I recognize. And actually, it was my mom's fault. Feel that rage. You are allowed to feel angry, to feel upset, because you've never learned what it means to feel safe within, to be good on your own. That has not been presented to you. You see, give yourself some grace, right? Allow yourself to be there for yourself. Give yourself peace in that, because you're not punished. You're not punished. It's about seeing it differently. Understanding that you can see it differently. Okay? So being an empath is not, it's not good or bad. It's about what you're doing with it. You can walk in a room and maybe feel the overall energy, but not tapping into each individual. You see, being here and feeling, feeling is not the problem. The problem is that you start to dig deep and then you're putting in an anchor and you're like, come to me, closer. You're inviting that energy kind of in to recognize something for yourself, but it's quite energy draining and it's not giving you any energy. So this is I think also what helps you is, does this connection that I'm having Is this uplifting me? Is this draining me? Is this giving me any sorts of empowerment? Is this giving me any love or anything like that, right? Then you know if it's rather in the way of, I may need to rethink if that relationship is a good one for me. Maybe for the moment, maybe for longer, maybe for goodbye, you know? Giving yourself the acceptance that not everybody is your friend. And that's normal. You don't need to be everybody's darling. You don't need to be and show up as the nice girl because you're afraid that someone may not like you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. See, you're not here to be liked by everybody. It's not needed anymore. This is a primal instinct that, we had. You can actually check this out in history, right? When someone was excluded from their tribe, you pretty much died. You're afraid to be alone because that is something that has been given on for centuries. This is in your DNA, but you can change it. You can actually work with it. You can be aware of it. You can say, okay, I know what I'm doing. Let's see if I can go beyond that, And don't be so like, oh, it didn't work. Be gentle to yourself, You don't need to be so like, if it doesn't work, then you're getting angry and upset. You don't, okay? You don't. Now, let me know in the comment section if this video has given you any new perspective, any idea about how you could maybe move forward for the future. Let me know. Let me know your struggles. Let me know what is it that you currently face. Okay? Let me know in the comments. And let's be there and act as a support community. Okay? If you are looking for any further support on one-on-ones, there is actually currently still one spot open, so you can apply with down below is the link. And I really want to ask you to only apply if you understand that this will take a full year. It will definitely be an investment, and understand that you need to fill out the application form. I need you to sit down and to really reconnect to what you want, right? So just sending me a message of, hey, I'm interested is not enough, okay? With that said, have a wonderful day, and we speak soon.